Okay guys, I'm gonna rate all of the drawing apps on the iPad. Let's do Medibang Paint first.
What's the rate of that app?
Interface. I'd say the interface on the Medibang Paint is more on the complicated side. You see that a lot of the tools are out. I mean, you can close the layer and all this color and these brushes. Let me turn this light first. But even still with that, it can still get quite overwhelming, especially for beginners. For interface, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. When it comes to brush choices, there's quite a lot, but they're super hard to find. There's no like search option, but good thing at least on the new update, there's a filter. But even with that, it still can get quite overwhelming and annoying when you're trying to search for a specific brush. I do wish they give us an option to group these brushes like in Procreate, or just give us a search tool, you know? Now for brush options, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Now it's a different conversation on how the brushes behaves themselves. Personally, as someone who has a manga style, or let's say comic style, I really need crispy lines. And Medibang is just perfect for that. I've never found any app who produces clean line like Medibang. Maybe Clip Studio, but I still go with Medibang. That's just my personal preference. But I do have to say that it doesn't support tilt sensitivity, like any of the brushes at all. So that would take off some points. So for brush quality, I'll give it a 7.5. Now, for the actual tools that are available here, you do have to know that Medibang is made for people that do comics. There's specific tools here made for comics. That's why as a comic artist myself, I just really love Medibang. And if you're a comic artist yourself, making comics needs a lot of tools. That's why it can get quite overwhelming on what Medibang offers for new users or those who don't do comics. And comparing it to Clip Studio Paint, Medibang is just super light to use and not that overwhelming if you only compare it to Clip Studio Paint. But other than that, for the tools, I'll give it an 8.5. Now, for the most important one, the price. You can definitely use Medibang Paint for free, but there's an ad here that pops out. Well, I understand because they have to earn, you know. It's definitely usable even with the ad, but like Ibis Paint, some of the brushes are locked. Now, I have to pay a monthly subscription for that. $159 just to remove that annoying ad at the top. Now, a monthly subscription is quite heavy, especially for us struggling artists. But since there's a free version, I'll give the price a 6.5. So overall, I'll give a Medibang Paint a 7 out of 10. Just know that different drawing apps have different pros and cons, and just use whatever suits you the best. In the end, it's still within the artist on how they draw themselves. Now let me know which app I should review next.